Greetings, my students and scientists, and today we're going to be reviewing a personal favourite character of mine. The four figures you see in front of you, of the many, is Transformers, Armada, Prime, War for Cybertron, and the new Legacy Evolutions, Hotshot. So a little backstory on the character. So Hotshot first appeared in the 2001 RID continuity. He was transformed into the spy, was a part of the spy changes and transformed into a red, black with fire decaled muscle car. After that, he was scheduled. There was really no plans to continue to bring him on. In fact, Armada was actually going to be. I'll talk more about Armada when I get over to that lot over there. But long story short, Armada came out, and instead of getting Bumblebee or Hot Rod, we got Hotshot, who is represented here. Now, this 2003 Hotshot model is actually missing his engine, minicon, and missile for his vehicle mode, but yeah, here he is in his car mode. And it's a very lovely car mode. Unfortunately, there's not real many complaints. It's a big chunky bit of early 2000s plastic, and it rolls pretty well. Hotshot would continue to be one of the supporting characters, even getting a powered up version where he would get read accents, where he'd be a supporting role in Transformers Energon, again receiving accents, and would also reappear in Transformers Cybertron, in which not only did he transform into a grey car, replacing a lot of the yellow he had, but even getting damaged and upgraded into Transformers Cybertronian Defense Team, alongside Scattershot and Red Alert, a figure I have reviewed, thank you again, C. Bart. So Hotshot kind of dropped off the radar after about 2007, but reappeared as an Easter egg character in Transformers Animated. A toy of that was expected to be released, but never saw the light of day, as Hasbro were kind of done with anything animated, thus cancelled it after its third season. So Hotshot wouldn't really reappear until a toy of him was released in 2010. Now, I have reviewed Transformers Prime Hotshot, and here he is again. He is a Bumblebee repaint, recolor, and slight remold that, instead of incorporating the yellow, incorporates a blue color scheme, because Bumblebee was yellow at the time, was yellow in the show, with some very nice fire decal, and like his 2003 counterpart, does roll quite well. Hotshot again would not reappear until Generations, which would release a Universe figure, which wasn't that good, which also did come back with Jolt. No, Hotshot wouldn't reappear until Generation selects War for Cybertron Siege Hotshot here, which is a remold of Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Hound. Now, this version is based off his Cybertronian Defense Force, and has a slight remold, but slight repaint. He would eventually reappear in the IDW Comics' records before they, lost the rights, and like everybody else, does roll quite well. But because I've reviewed these two figures, I will not be reviewing them for this review. They will be, Finally, fans were kind of going, will we see any other version of it? And Hasbro delivered. You see, with the Legacy line, they re-released Starscream, who, like Hotshot, had a not-so-great toy in the Thrilling 30s line. But they decided to update the original mold and in the Legacy Evolutions line, and here we have it. Essentially a more squash version of his 2003 counterpart. This version of Hotshot is quite lovely. And of course underneath you can see the robot mode, and that's it. Now, this version of Hotshot does not come with his blaster, or his minicon, or the missile function, but we can still recreate some of the functions. So let's get down to transformation, starting with 2003, and then we'll go Legacy, and then I'll pause and do those two. So with this, you want to come to the back, and you want to basically lift up these two bits here. Fold them all the way down, which is going to reveal his bot mode here. Hi, I like jam. Untab the two side doors and bring them all the way down, covering the wheeled arcs. Rotate, and as you do, bring out the arms, rotate the legs around, and fold up the foot. And there you have 2003 Hotshot, and it's okay. So now let's do Legacy. So first of all, you want to actually get in there and remove the gun. One sec. I recommend utilizing a lever for that, because this gun actually does sit quite far in there. Next, you want to what do you want to do? untab everything. So you want to bring out the doors and do the same thing for them. Bring out the arms by bringing them down. Got to get in there and weasel it. And at the same time, bring up the back wheel. We're going to focus on the legs first, so you're going to untab these parts here. And you're going to bring them down. At the same time, you're also going to fold in this little yellow bit of plastic here. Untab the legs, bring up one leg, and fold the roof all the way down. Then you're going to come to the foot and bring the foot out. Second, this is much like the first, and this is how you bring the foot out. It's on a hinge joint, which will just tab into that spot and bring the foot down. And there you go. Rotate the waist 180 degrees. Then you're going to come up to this chunk, and you're going to basically fold it back, bring the arms down. But as you're folding it back, you're going to get it to basically set. Let me see. You're going to bring the wheels back, bring these two pads up, and bring them down. But before you tab them in, and once you've got everything all nice and squeezed in, pull down on the chest and bring out the robot mode head and fold back up. Then you're going to take these, and these have a little hole in the shoulder pad here, and they will just tab. They're supposed to tab on these, and this is a complaint I have. Rotate the arms 90 degrees, and bring the gun back, and put it in his hand. And back up, we've got the other two transformed. And there we have the Hot Shots transformed, and as you can see, it's a variety of colours. Of course, we're going to start off with 2003. As you can see, we get close here on that really derpy head sculpt. He's like, hey! You can see he's basically very early 2000s, aesthetic, just as we were starting to get articulated figures. Nothing on the back here, stuff like that. And posability, basically, arms can go out and in, rotate at the elbow, bend at the elbow, nothing at the waist, nothing at the head, because they're molded in. Let's go forward yet far, back yet far. And you do get slight bend. It is in the knee, and because of transformation, you do get a little bit of toe. I've already done Transformers Prime, and of course, Wolf Cybertrons, we don't need to focus on that, so let's focus on the new kid on the block, the Legacy character. And I love this figure as much as I do. I do have my complaints with it. We'll get into those in a moment, but getting close here on that head joint. Look at that head. So, head is on a swivel joint. It can do a full 360 if you are able to get your head on it. Hands on it. Arms go forward that far and back yay far due to the backpack, and out, swivel at the bicep, bend at the elbow, nothing at the wrist. You do get some waist articulation. Legs can go forward yay far, they can go back yay far, and he can do the splits. You get an okayish bend at the knee due to this plastic here, but if you move it off to the side there, you get a much more amazing bend at the knee. Again, I kind of wished you could have, I wish Hasbro would have done that a bit better. Again, due to transformation, you do get a little bit of toe articulation. Now, the one thing I don't like about this character is his shoulder pads. Now, if you have a look at the original one, he has very chunky shoulders. This one does not, as these tabs here don't. They just don't. It really does get annoying when you are trying to pose things, and these shoulder pads just pop off because they don't want to sit in the shoulder pads, so they kind of just on the peg, so they kind of just rest on the peg there. That's my only complaint with this figure. Obviously, and also the back of the thighs there. These windshield legs. But one other thing is you can recreate one thing that Hotshot could do with that figure. If you bring down his visor, and if you had the Minicon Jolt, his helicopter, you would be able to activate his unique feature, which was able to spring his gun, his back set of tires forward for a missile mode. This allowed him to basically fire it in that. Now, you can also do the same thing in this with the Legacy figures. Bring it up and bring it forward, and there you go. You've now given two Hotshots two massive amounts of firepower. Oh yeah, you also do get a bit of foot tiltage, but they are tabbed in there. There's a tab in there, so I do recommend be careful with that. And the guns, this gun can at least move freely. So, what other versions of Hotshot are there? Well, there are obviously the Hasbro and Takara versions. There's the 2001 RID version. 2001 RID. There is a Movieverse Hotshot that exists. There is the power-upped version of Hotshot from Transformers Animated, Armada. There is the prototype from Animated. There is two different versions of the Energon one. There is Takara, Cybertron, Defense Force. There is the animated. I've already mentioned the animated prototype. I've already mentioned the Movieverse. Generations, both Hasbro and Takara, and of course some other ones that I probably am missing, as well as the the Rescue Bots Academy one, which is the final edition of the Transformers Prime universe. So that is fine. That has been a review I've been wanting to do for quite some time. Now, you may see Hotshot return. That Hotshot and this Hotshot, the Legacy and the 2003 Armada one, return when I do an overview of the Transformers Unicron series. But would I recommend picking up Transformers Legacy Hotshot? Absolutely. He is actually one of the few times that Hasbro have done a faithful redo of his alt mode. Now, I'm just waiting for someone to do a third party or a Pro Hex to give him Jam. And if you know what that's a reference to, then you know. If you don't, oh well, that's fine. This is Nugget saying G1 Superior, and I'll catch you in the next one. Remember this, Nugget saying you are fabulous, and I hope you have a fantastic day. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!